Y'all, this article says, do not kiss until you're married. So if you're a Christian and you're dating somebody, you can't kiss them?
You can't kiss them? You can't kiss them?
Who? Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Some of you may know me from several other podcasts that I've done, and you may even know me from my own podcast, the Openish Podcast. But this is my personal channel, and I felt the need to have this space because I have a whole lot of things that I'm a part of and that I'm around that I think are really interesting. And also, there's a lot of deep revelation and wisdom that comes along with that didn't necessarily fit some of the things that the Openish podcast were built on. Again, everything is still faith-based and God is still the greatest and still the center of my life. But um I kind of wanted to walk with y'all on different journeys. And if you know me, you know that I love God and I love food. So you may see a whole bunch of travel. You may see just candid conversations. You may see me cooking in the kitchen on this channel. Who knows? But one thing's for certain, two things for sure. You're going to have some bomb recipes. You're going to have some great conversations. And speaking of such, I actually had a conversation this week based off an article that I read about dating and Christian dating. Let me just say that. And you may know that there's an amazing book out called Update, the new blueprint for dating, covenant, and becoming the one. If you haven't got this book, I don't know what you're waiting on. This book is everything. What I do love most about this book is that it's very practical with a spiritual undertone guideline for dating. And it kind of fills in the gap with everything that a lot of other books that have been out that they kind of left. So, and I've read all those books. So this book right here pretty much answers the other questions that I had left after I read the other books. So if you haven't got it, make sure you grab your copy. So I wanted to hop on here today because I was reading an article about dating as a Christian, and I am a Christian, born again, saved, Holy Ghost filled, fire baptized, all that good stuff, right? Jesus Christ is Lord of my life in real life. But some of the things that I read in this article about the things that Christians should do when they're dating, I was like, huh? Now, let's just get into this. It says, and some things I was like, okay, but just let me know what y'all think. It says, don't date for more than a year. Date for at least 1 year. Then it says, date exclusively in groups. Now, I do believe that there's safety in a multitude. Of course, when you have too much isolation, when you're practicing abstinence, when you're dating, if you're not, if you haven't conquered your flesh in the areas of your hormones, I'm gonna just say it. Good as my channel, I can say it. If you haven't mastered the ability of being around somebody that you're attracted to without wanting to hump them, then I don't know. Then yes, you need to date in multitude. But I'm very introverted. Well, more of an ambivert. And I love of course, dating and being around, our friends and things like that. That's cool. But I'm a very intimate person. Like I love one-on-ones because the opinions of others, while I'll I will factor that. Let me say this. I will consider what they say. Ultimately, I know that whoever I'm dating and who I'm with, it's my decision. I have to live with this person. I have to deal with it. It's me. It ain't y'all. But I also understand that sometimes your circle, especially your inner trusted circle, they can see things and flags that you may not see and that you may overlook. So I do agree with dating in groups, but I don't think it has to be exclusive. Like, why do I have to only date in groups? Here's some other things that the article said. Don't kiss before you're married. Hold on. Yo, this article said, do not date. Do not kiss until you're married. Now, the website is, mm, well, I didn't want to say the website, but but it says, don't kiss until you're married. I'm gonna just leave that right there. I don't even. Okay, you can't kiss them. Who? Why? I mean, if you're in a space where you can't handle kissing the your person you're dating, then I don't know what to tell you. You probably don't need to be dating. If that can, yeah. I mean, I don't, but I get it. Sometimes people do too much. It's a whole lot of going on. But yeah, I don't know. I personally, I'm a dating Christian, and when I'm dating somebody, I do kiss them. I do. So, um, yeah, that's not something that I agree with. And this other one says, "How can you know you have chemistry without kissing?" So, chemistry is not just anything that's physical. Um, Chemistry can come about a whole lot of ways. So these are questions that people were asking about the I guess the articles, different questions like, well, how do you have chemistry if you can't kiss? Well, chemistry isn't something that's always physical. You can have different types of chemistry. You can have chemistry with friends and platonic relationships that you don't do anything intimate with, and you have a certain synergy and chemistry. So I don't believe you have to kiss to have chemistry. So yeah, I don't know what that's about. And then the other thing that I thought was interesting said, now this is interesting. Um, don't try to follow everyone else's advice and rules. Now, I thought it was strange that this article said not to follow anyone's advices or rules, but they clearly were given a whole lot of them. But I guess it meant everybody but theirs. All right. And the other thing it says, put clear boundaries into place. Yes, agree. Let's say spend. It says spend lots of time together. But then the next point this article says is be careful how much time you spend together. Date a bunch of people before getting serious. Don't date anyone until you're ready to marry them. So, everyone that I'm dating, you just told me to not date a bunch of people. But then the next point says, don't date anyone until you're ready to marry them. So, are you implying that the bunches of people that you're telling me to date, I have to be prepared to marry all of them? How do you know? How do you know that I don't know. Nevertheless, these are some of the things that are out here for Christians that are dating. And I just want to be clear that I really wish that the church would do a better job at preparing singles for marriage, other than telling them, don't have sex. What? Because what happens is you make it to the finish line of marriage, right? So you think. So now you have all these other issues that you're dealing with because you weren't prepared for, okay, well, what's next? I'm no longer in sin because I'm not fornicating. But that's just a piece of it. I wish that the church would focus more on us walking in our purpose opposed to walking down the aisle more. Um, because it's just not giving. And I wish that the church would give better advice to singles other than get out of bed with your boyfriend and your girlfriend and don't have sex. Okay, well, teach me how to deal with these sexual frustrations, especially and it's not even for those that have been active before, because I do know people that are in their 30s that are still virgins. It still don't mean that they don't have temptations. I mean, good gracious, during ovulation, I mean, it's crazy. It's for anybody. It's your hormones. It's natural. It's normal. Um, I I just wish that we would deal with that. And here's another thing. So what do you do when you have these sexual frustrations? What do you do when you have temptations? What do you do if you fall in love with somebody who's not a believer? Uh, I know somebody got all the answers right now, but there's somebody that's watching this right now that's dealing with the, uh, I'm a help, you know, mm, I don't even want to say, but there's somebody right now that's dating somebody that they feel that their life can convert them over or that they can walk them into, salvation. And sometimes it happens, but usually more than likely, you will be the one slipping and compromising. They'll change you before you change them. Usually. There have been some cases where it's like, you know what? Yeah. But usually when you're dating and not married, if you're dating an unbeliever, um, you're probably not moving in this way that dating as a Christian is supposed to look. Um, Only because the other person doesn't have the same values and morals. They may not share that, we're supposed to wait till we're married for this, or we can't lay up, or we can't live together. We, can't do that without this. Now, yeah, that's a whole nother conversation. Um, so these are conversations and things that I think that we should really lean into because who else do we have if we don't talk amongst each other and figure out how does this thing work? Where we gonna go outside of church to get this information? A lot of us have to lean to that because we don't have the real conversation in the church. But that's why you're here on this channel. I feel like singleness is a conversation that we should lean into more because what you do in your single space really does help set the foundation for who you are in your marriage. I feel almost like they put marriage as an idol. And if you think that being married is going to set you, um, if you think that being married is something that's going to complete you, you're not ready for marriage. And this is coming from a person that was asked to be married, a person that, was engaged. Like, please. It's a lot of work you have to do internally first. And that's what this book update is about. This is why this book right here, and I've read so many different relationship books. You don't even, all of them. I like to do root knowledge and get to the why, right? Like if a person is desiring to get married so much, or if they feel like this is what I need to be the better version of myself. And granted, I do believe that your partner should bring out the best in you or bring out another better side of you. Looking for another person to complete you is too much work for anybody. It's not going to be fair to that man or to that woman because you're putting a huge weight on them, a huge weight on them that they shouldn't have to carry. And a lot of the times we have a lot of unaddressed mommy and daddy issues that we are hoping that our partners will help to fill. But a lot of the times our partner becomes um they become the collateral damage of our unhealed trauma. They become the outlet that we explode on because we didn't deal with certain things. So I just I wish that I wish that we had better representation of how blessed we are to be single because of the weight of what a covenant is. Once you understand how marriage, your covenant is supposed to be so self-sacrificial, it's serving, right? once you really understand that this person has to come first before you would really look at your singleness as a luxury. And again, this is coming from somebody who almost did that. And, I don't regret. I don't regret not marrying that person. And I wish them the absolute best. I really do. Please live your life. Please be happy. But I can't believe I'm even saying this one here. I think there's a lot that single people can do. And then when I say single, I want to be clear. There's a few different categories of single. You have single and never married. You have single again because they are divorced. You have widow single. You have separated and single, which technically is like if you're still married but just separated, you're not really single because you can't get married again until you're divorced. So I don't know if that's, I mean, on paper, it is considered to be single, but covenantally wise, like, I don't know. I'm gonna just leave that alone. But so there's a lot to unpack with being single. And I think the work starts from the inside out. And I really believe that we have to work on becoming the person that we want to attract. So there's a lot of questions. Of there's a lot of work that we should do on ourselves as single people to prepare us to be the best version of ourselves for our partners, our spouses, right? That's the goal. You date for marriage. Other than that, why are you dating? You're dating for a companion. Okay, but you have a companion and you're not having sex with them. Okay, you don't want a boom boom. Then just, you know, don't do that. I get it. If you don't want to do that, but most people aren't consecrated for that. Some people have that as that's one of their gifts. Like they are called to not be that. But we have to be honest, a lot of people aren't that. In fact, only one of Jesus' disciples was married. All of the disciples were single except for one. The Bible even talks about if you can't abstain from certain desires, then by all means, go ahead, go get married. But if you can, being single is the way. And I know it's tough. You have moments where, Valentine's Day, cuffing season. And again, I want to be clear. I am not anti-marriage. I am just pro clarity of what we doing in covenant. Like I'm not, no. I just believe that we shouldn't make marriage an idol, and we also should not make our marriage the place where we feel that our completion will come from, because nobody can do that for you. Okay? Hit the link or scan the QR code and get your copy of Update. It's available Amazon, Barnes and Noble, anywhere that books can be ordered, you can get this book. But if you order from the website directly, you can get a signed copy along with a free gift bag. So go to theupdatebook.com for your free gift with purchase whenever you get the book from there. Okay? Love you guys. Bye-bye.
Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.